Today, I have Micah and Justine and Matthew, who are in the first year of our program. And so what I'd like to start with is if you can lay the context of this story a little bit more. So if you can say what grade your mentor teacher was. I guess do not mention the name of the teacher for confidentiality, and just share what age, the subject, the hours you jumped in on, the logistical aspect of this project. And who would like to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great.
So I did the teaching practice at JIEP-ITESS 11,
Okay.
and I followed two classes. Both were literature classes, but one was for freshman years, so year 9, and the other one was a combined class for juniors and seniors, so 11th and 12th grade. But both were literature classes.
Okay, great. Matthew?
And so I was with Craig High School, if I'm not mistaken. And I had two different teachers. One was for a human geography class, and then the other one was for an ESL, so English as a second language class. And we were working with freshmen, so 9th grade. So
Okay.
yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Micah?
Yeah, and I was in Jacksonville school. I was in a teaching practice for the social study class for ancient Greece as well. And it was for the 6th grade. The kids were so young and amazing, and I really enjoyed seeing them, how it worked actually, because it was my first internship ever, and seeing how they are learning. I also got to observe two classes, which was very special because the first class was for the more advanced group, even though they are all the same age, that's why it's important. And the second group was the group that were struggling a bit, and I got to observe the difference, and that was really amazing for me to see. Yeah.
Great. I think I had an opportunity to drop in on one of your classes because the focus was 6th grade in ancient Greece.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah.
So the original intention was for observation. Okay, so we knew you all were mostly joining in the first time, and we thought, okay, you're going to be observing in classes. But the stories I heard is that in a short period of time, you were doing more than observing. So what I'm interested in is first, what did you learn by observing? What do you think you were able to learn? Matthew, do you have some idea?
Patience. You have to learn a bit of patience, not only because you're teaching online or working online, but I think for me the group of students as well, because I was working with ESL students for the half of it, and those are students from different backgrounds you'd expect in the international school that aren't familiar with English as much. Many of them from Central and South America, and I grew up in that kind of environment. So for me, I understood it a little bit. I understood where they were coming from, but you need patience, and I think that's the biggest thing you learn from observing, particularly in this internship. So, yeah.
Okay, so let's continue on this a little bit. So, what did you learn in the process of observing? So, if this project was to happen again with us, with different student teachers in different classrooms, if we were to use this as a prototype for student training, what do you learn from observing?
Well, I would like to say that observing is a lot more active than a passive thing. I thought I will be just sitting there and watching a screen, which does not sound very appealing when you talk about it, but it's actually a lot more. At some point, the students are standing in front of the screen and they are presenting their projects to me, and I was just sitting and analyzing each student and what they've learned and how they are presenting. And it's actually you're quite busy when you're sitting and observing. It's an activity that is keeps you in your mind. You're actually analyzing a lot of things at the same time. So I also try to focus on one thing each lesson, because there's a lot to observe.
This is really rich, and I would say principals who observe classrooms, when you're in a school and your colleague observes you, right? There is an art to observing. And it sounds like one technique you used was to focus on one thing. Can you give us an example?
Yeah, for sure. So, for example, as I'm becoming a teacher, I'm interested to see how, for example, I can maintain the class and maintain a good behavior in class. Mm-hmm. And that is very important for me to observe. But I was also interested, for example, more into activities. How can I arrange activities in class? And all of these things go together. You have to arrange activities and keep class in good order.
Yeah.
But how a teacher can do it is a bit complicated to me. I still don't understand how teachers can do it. Actually, it's a lot of work. So I try to focus on just one thing at a time. Yeah, and try to understand how this works and then move to the next one.
So I know in your particular class, students did work in small groups. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, and moving from a large group to a small group, in a master teacher can make that look very easy.
Yeah.
But beginning teachers